Philip Snyder was a American geologist that worked and did contracted work for the U.S. military and government. And in one of his projects that he was working on, ended up getting into an area underground that opened up into a chamber where there were non-human entities. And the military troops that went down with him ended up, some person, I guess they got fearful or scared, pulled the trigger, shot one of these entities. The entities fought back with weapons that they happened to have. The weapon struck Phil Schneider and took off part of his torso and part of his hand, and which he visibly had the actual real injuries to show, which are well documented, and the hospital bills to show, well documented. He came out public to talk about this incident.
Because I was very strong mentally. There's a bunch of us that were picked because we don't crack under pressure. We don't freak under pressure, so to speak. Everyday events don't bother us. Now, I was involved in something very controversial, almost totally unbelievable to most of you. Some of you are religious people. I think all religions have a time and a place, and they definitely have a place in America. Now, another thing I want to reach to you is that during the unbelievable part, I was involved in building another base inside of Dulce, New Mexico, which is Los Alamos Laboratory. It's a biological laboratory. On the southwest part of the Archuleta Mesa, we built an underground facility, a better part of 3 cubic miles hollowed out underground. Then to the southwest of that, we were in the process of the early stages of building. We drilled 4 large tunnel-like holes. Some of them ran 2.5 miles under the surface. Number of the original wells or drilling machines that were used were at the rate of up 2 miles a day. It was fairly rapid. The equipment kept coming up broken. So we wanted to go down, we wanted to send somebody down there, a human observer, or human observers in this case, to find out what was going on. Well, to our total surprise, first of all, the government knew all about it. They didn't tell anybody. When I saw Green Beret and Black Beret people encamped inside of our geologist camp, I knew something was up, the gig was up. First of all, I knew all about the alien agenda. I'll explain that in a few minutes. The large alien grays had been encamped there for as best as believed possible about 400 or 500 years. Had been one of their internal bases. And we'd drilled holes right on top of it. All the stinking air, all the black sooty air came right out as soon as the first hole was sunk, and all this soot came up, and well, that's when all the hell broke loose, really, all started. Anyway, after we drilled all 4 holes, it took about 2 days to drill all 4 of them. And when you build an underground base, you drill 4 basic holes, and then you build called stopes or cross-member holes across, and then you use blasting equipment, special blasting equipment by the analyzation of the rock formation, and you literally blast out or tunnel out or deflagrate or melt rock out to build the large rooms that are required for this underground base. Well, in this process, I was lowered down the basket of one of these holes, and about from me to this elderly woman here in the front was sitting a 7-foot tall alien gray. The stench was worse than the worst garbage can you can imagine. The person the entity was absolutely horrible. I didn't waste any time. I reached for my pistol. At that time, as an engineer, I didn't have time to carry all the folderol of one of these big submachine guns that all the sea spray and the yellow fruit and all the outer perimeter and inner perimeter security people carried. I carried a little Walther PPK pistol with a 9-shot clip. This was in late August of 1979. Now, You got a regular suit of clothes, you got a regular clothes on, plus you're in a almost like a spacesuit environment, and you're reaching for a gun. It's not the easiest thing to do, and then to pop a clip in it and start shooting. And I killed 2 of them. Yes, they're mortal, and they do die. However, in the process, one of them did this. All I remember is that he just kind of waved his hand in front of his chest, and the next thing I know, this blue beam hit me and just literally opened me up like a fish, and burnt my fingers right off of me. And it was some form of electrical force, because the kind of like being hit by a lightning bolt burned all my toenails off of me, completely crispy crittered my left foot, burnt the shoe right off of me. All I remember is the smoking remains, and I'm still conscious, but in and out of, I didn't remember much. And there was a Green Beret that was right behind me that risked his life. In fact, he died. But he risked his life. He shoved me back in the basket and hit the button and took me up. And I wouldn't be alive talking to you today if it wasn't for him. I'm forever indebted. He lost his life. 66 Secret Service agents, Green Berets, Black Berets, crack troops lost their lives because the government, our United States government, lied, did not tell us anything about the alien threat. There's a war.
Staff to look into this, and then yesterday in Phoenix, he said that there'll be a lot of information being released very, very soon. I felt that we needed to have a press conference to set the standard, the gold standard of what disclosure is, and if there's a partial disclosure, to push back against that. And I think the part of it that we're hearing from people inside the administration is that they're being advised not to release the information related to the man-made UFOs, which is, of course, the predominant one seen, but they're also the ones that have been used in criminal and illegal activities, including staging alien abductions and mutilations and other things. So we're going to drill down on that very heavily, but we're also going to reveal a lot of the new studies for the Boogosphere, this item that landed in Buga, Colombia, South America.
He ended up, when he went back to the hospital for another checkup and to get more treatment on the wounds that he had, which looked like he was, like his arm, his hand and his body were just hit with a laser and just sliced with some type of a hot device. But when he went back to the hospital, he accidentally got suicided, as they found him with the IV cord wrapped around his neck. So he accidentally got suicided in the hospital room going in for treatment. That happened in real life. Phil Schneider. So shout out to Phil, the late, great Phil Schneider. Rest in peace, rest in power.